Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I am back with another Stamp Stash Saturday, which is super fun. I'm using this stamp from MFT. It is called Loveable Leopards. I think it's absolutely adorable. They are so cute. I'm going to tape this down to my work surface with painter's tape and stamp it out using MFT's Extreme Black ink. I've recently picked this up and I'm just kind of playing with it to see how much I like it. I'm stamping onto Nina Solar White paper. I usually color on Copic Express It. I would use Nina anyway because I am going to do a little bit of ink blending, but I've been finding that my Copic paper has been making my markers really sticky lately, so I'm not sure if I got a bad batch and I haven't had a chance to email them yet. So yeah, I really need to email them and decide what I'm going to do here. So I'm using this sentiment that says, our friendship is always an adventure. And I'm going to add that underneath, or on top, pardon me. I was going to put it underneath first of all. It was my first thought. Anyway, and then I have already cut out a mask for all of these little guys, and we're going to mask him off. This is the masking paper you can pick up from Simon Says Stamp. I do have the roll. I can't remember who makes it, but the roll of masking paper. Not sure if I like it yet or not. I find that a lot of the time it doesn't want to stick. Like stay stuck down, and when I ink blend it pulls it up and then it makes a mess and then it's a disaster and I end up with purple where I want to put orange or yellow and then it just doesn't work for me. So I still need to play around with that so I can figure out exactly if I like it or not. So we're going to mask all of these pieces off and then we're going to do some ink blending here. I have a Wilted Violet, Blueprint Sketch, and Salty Ocean Distress ink, and I'm just going to start with the purple and slowly blend out. Then I'm going to use the dark blue right in the middle and then the light blue right around the outside. You'll see as we get to that. So for Stamp Stash Saturday, Carisa started it, so that's inkyfiarydesigns here on YouTube. I'll have her link in the description box below. I jumped on board and missed last week because last week was nothing went right for me in the last week, but that's all right. New week, new time. Let's start over. So it's where we pull a stamps set that we haven't used or have barely used, like I've used this one once, and try to get some more use out of it and use things that we've bought and paid for that are just kind of hanging out in the craft room and aren't getting any love, and it's time to start showing all these things that we've spent a lot of money on and get some cards out of them because they're super adorable and super fun and we really should be using them. So we're just going to do this ink blending. I'm going to put some of this Salty Ocean around the outside. And that will be super fun. And then we will pull it off and start on the Copic coloring. I love my Copic marker. I love all sorts of coloring mediums. I think those of you that have been watching my channel now for a while know that I kind of have an obsession with all things that put pigment on paper. Okay, I use my craft knife to pull these off. Don't do this if you are nervous about cutting yourself. Do not blame me if you cut yourself because you watched me do this. It's habit. I don't know why I use this, but it always has worked for me, so that's why I use my craft knife. I only use it when I need to get something to let go, so that's my disclaimer there. So we're going to start by making our leopard here orange and yellow, and I'm starting with a YR18. I will have all of the caps on the sides as I'm going through them and coloring, so you guys can see what caps I'm using. For the video today, this was a super fast card to put together. I think I had like 15 or 17 minutes of footage, so I have only sped this up to 1.5 times its original speed, so it's very, very close to a real-time video, which is helpful for a lot of you, and some of you really, really like these slower videos, so I'm hoping you guys will enjoy this. When I pause like this, I'm actually just contemplating in my head where I need that shadow to go. A lot of the time when I speed the video up, like usually I put it at about 2.5 times its original speed, you don't catch how long that pause actually is. But when I have it really slow like this, you can see exactly what I'm contemplating what I need to do here. So, yeah, it takes a while to color things, that's for sure. So then we're going to jump into our next thing. Oh, wow. Into our next color, Jessie. Next color, which is YR04, which is a super bright orange that I decide that I need to numb it down a little bit. So I reach back into my Copic bag and I pull out a YR14 to go in between that and the yellows. So it is family day in Canada on Monday, so that's super awesome. I don't have to work. I get to hang out with my boy, which is always a blast. They had a carnival at their school yesterday, and the grade in the class that my son is in did as they do things like this throughout the year, the different classrooms take on different things to fundraise for their year-end project or year-end trip, so that the parents don't have to pay quite as much money for wherever they decide to go. And we had to do, and Caleb's class did it for this carnival that they had. They got tickets from minutes that they read at home in order to play games and things, and then they could buy 4 tickets for $5, and there was like a bake table, and then they did floats and sundaes, and I volunteered to scoop ice cream, and I was sticky up to my elbows. It was a beautiful time. It's exactly what I love to do. I hope you can sense the sarcasm in my voice, but it was really nice to actually have the opportunity to go and help in his classroom for a change. I work 45 to 50 hours a week at the job that pays my mortgage, and a lot of the time I don't get the opportunity to go. So it was really fun to be able to tag along and enjoy the carnival with them and everything else. And my son, in true Caleb fashion, comes up and goes, "Okay, I want to float." And he puts his 2 red tickets down. And I said, "Okay." So I put his ice cream in a cup. He goes, "But I need another cup, Mom." And I said, "Why do you need another cup, Caleb?" He goes, "Because my pop cannot touch my ice cream. That sounds horrible." So he sat against the wall with his little bit of pop in a cup and his little bit of ice cream in a cup and had a couple sips out of both and threw it away because he said it was too sweet. I was like, well, whatever. As long as you're happy, buddy. Go at her. Like, have fun, dude. And then he went and spent his other 2 tickets on baking, and it was like 1 ticket got you 2 cookies or like two small items, right? There was cookies and there was muffins and cupcakes and all sorts of stuff. So he bought 4 cookies. He ate 1 and he gave me 3 to bring home for him, except for the fact that he's not home. He went to my niece's birthday, and then he phoned me and said, "I don't think I want to come home tonight. Can I sleep here?" And then they suckered my sister, like his aunt. He suckered Auntie Dana into taking them to the pool tomorrow, so they're going swimming tomorrow. And I might eat his cookies, but shh, he'll be so mad at me. I won't eat his cookies. So we're on to, anyway, that's my rambling of the day. Yeah. So we're on to the tree stem here, and I'm going to use the E20s. So I started with E29 and then E27, and we'll use 25 and 23 on that. Oh, the thoughts that go through my brain. I'm finishing this one off. I really hope you guys are enjoying this series and enjoying seeing some not always the latest and newest releases in videos, but things that you may have bought a while ago that are sitting in your stash, or things that you may have only used once that are sitting in your stash. And you're getting some inspiration to pull them out and make some fun things with those stamps that you've bought and paid for and not used as much as we probably should, because I think we all have a little bit of that problem. There may be times where I use, like, when I buy brand new stamp sets, aside from like design teamwork, but when I buy, like, I bought the last MFT release, I bought, I don't know, 3 or 4 of the sets out of that release. I won't use those for Stamp Stash Saturday videos until it's been like 5 or 6 months, I'm hoping. I may pull them out and use them in other videos, but I don't want to use brand new and say it's from my stash, because it's not. It's something I've recently purchased, and yeah. You can see there how the back of the marker was off. That marker's been overfilled or wanting to blob on me since I got it, and I've had it for over a year. And I do use it quite frequently, but when that happens and your marker gets super juicy and wants to blob out on your paper, if you pull off the back end of it, it'll help restabilize that ink and it won't make a big lump on your paper for you. So once I finished those leaves there, I decided they weren't quite bright enough, so I just went over top of them with a YR or a Y11 just to bring a lot more yellow into it. I started tracing with this pen because I found it first, and I decided that I didn't like it, and I went back to one of my multi-liners once I turned the camera off here. So now I have an A2 size top folding card, so I took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cut it in half, and cut it in half the long way, and then scored it at 5.5 so that I have a 4.25 by 5.5 inch top folding card. And then we're going to adhere our little guy to the front here. And yeah, if you would like to check out more videos, there's one from me on the side. And if you click my big mug here, you can subscribe to the channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Please give me a thumbs up and a comment down below. Bye for now.